Hi guys, Jim here again with another Sudoku video. Today we'll be looking at the Sandwich Sudoku collection from Cracking the Cryptic. Quick word on them, there are a couple of guys who have their own YouTube channel and they solve very difficult puzzles and have been uploading daily for years and years. Fantastic couple of solvers, very clever folk. They've curated a bunch of puzzles and put them out for sale on Steam or on your phone. This is one of those apps, the Sandwich Sudoku, and I'll explain what that means later. But I would just say, if you have any interest in this sort of thing, if you like doing a Sudoku, you like watching Sudokus, check them out. Check out the apps that you can buy on Steam or on the Play Store. Well worth it, in my opinion. Right, so my turn today. So let's have a look at the puzzles that we have. As per usual, you can unlock harder puzzles as you go through by completing earlier ones. So we've got puzzle number 4 today, and with this puzzle, so as I say, Sandwich Sudoku. If you've already seen a couple of my videos, you may remember what these are. But basically, the clues outside the grid tell you in that row or column, right? So this clue belongs to this column. The sum of the digits between 1 and 9 is 35. So you know there's a 1 and a 9 in every column and row in the grid, because it has to be all the digits, right? It's a regular Sudoku. But what you do know as well as that is that the digits between them sum to x, y. Now the interesting thing here, this is really fascinating. So where there's a 0 clue, it means the 1 and the 9 are next to each other. And so what they're saying is every column, apart from these two, every column the 1 and 9 are next to each other. So that's really interesting. But anyway, yeah. So that's the rules of Sandwich Sudoku. So you can think of it as the 1 and the 9 are the bread of the sandwich, and the sandwich kind of goes between. And so that's the logic that you need to solve the puzzle. And with that, let's get on with it. So what am I noticing? So 35's interesting because if you sum up all of the digits 1 through 9, that comes to 45, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. It's always 45. There's no magical mystery involved with that. And so if you take out the digits 1 and 9, they add up to 10. So if you take them out, it becomes 35. And so what a clue of 35 means is that it is every digit between that are available between 1 and 9. And so a 35 clue actually tells you that 1 and 9 are at either ends of the column or row, and everything else is in between them. So in fact, that must be a 1, and similarly, in exactly the same logic, this must be a 1 because we've got 35 at both ends. Now with a Sandwich Sudoku, probably the first thing you want to do is identify the 1s and 9s, and one of the ways you can do that is by crossing out the ones that can't be 1s and 9s. Obviously, if you've used a 1 and a 9 in the row or the column, you can rule out the rest of the row and the column, but you can do other things as well, so we'll kind of see that as we go. Now, this is interesting because I know, as I said before, 1 and 9 are next to each other where there's a 0 clue, so I'll pop a 9 in there. That lets me cross off the rest of the box and indeed the rest of this column. We know as well, so in fact I know, because these two are next to each other, I know this cannot be a 1 or a 9 because it wouldn't have an available cell next to it to complete the pair. Okay, so yeah, so in the same logic, we've got a 0 clue. I'm just going to turn off that clue because we've already used it. And we've used these clues as well, so if I just turn these off. Yeah, so we can turn off this one as well because I'm about to use it, because 0 makes 1 and 9 next to each other. So that must be the case there. I can grey out the rest of that row. I know a 1 goes here next to this 9 because it's a 0 clue, and similarly I know a 1 goes here. Oh, that's interesting then. So these kind of act as a virtual pencil mark in the box. Which is kind of cool. So that means these two cannot be, or a 1 and a 9. Okay, so that cannot be a 9 because it's a 7. No, sorry, that can't be a 1 and a 9 pair because it's a 7 clue. So what that means is that that one must be a 1 or a 9, because I can't put both of them in there. So if that one absolutely is a 1 or a 9, then that one must also be a 1 or a 9. I don't know which way round they are at the moment. Well, actually I do. That must be a 1, but because this is a 0 clue in the column, so in fact let me pop that is a 1 and a 9. Does that solve this? It does, yes. So obviously this 9 needs a 1 next to it to satisfy its own clue, and now I can in fact pop that in there. And then similarly that can't be 1, so that must be 1 to satisfy this 0 clue. We've got a 0 clue in here to satisfy as well. Yes, so that 9 ticks both of these zeros off at the same time. Those can't be 1s and 9s. We've got a 1 next to this 9 as well to satisfy its 0 clue, and a 0 clue up here means that both of these must be 1 and 9. So there's a 1-9 duo there. And in fact, if I look here, I've got a 9 already in the row, so that must be the 1, that must be the 9. Therefore, that cannot be a 1 or a 9 because there's already 1 in the column. I can get rid of this clue and this clue. No, I can't get rid of this clue just yet because I haven't ascertained the order of this 1. That one can't be 1. In fact, neither of those two can be. So that one can't be 1 because in the row I need a 0 clue as well. So let me get rid of that. That one can't be 1, so that one is. Right, here's your sandwich endings here, and this is a 7 clue, so in fact this is a 3, and I can cross those off, and that is a clue I can get rid of. And then these must be a 1-9 pair, mustn't they? Oh, I don't know why well, I can now, yeah, I think I clicked off that clue too soon, but that's fine. So that must be the 1 to satisfy that 0 clue. That's the 9, that's the 1, and that's all of the 1s and 9s done, in fact. So what that tells me is I can get rid of the X's, because they are no longer of interest to me. So that tidies up the grid. And then I can get rid of these 2 0 clues have been used clearly. And then what I've got here, so I've got very few clues left. So this is 15 off of 4 cells. So that's 2, 3, 4, 6. So these missing cells are 2, 3, 4, and 6, of which I have 2 and 3 already. So that is a 4-6 pair, which I cannot disambiguate just yet. But that means that row is done. That clue is done, I should say. What I'm missing 7 and 8 from the row, and then 25 here. So this is off of 4 cells. Okay, so off of 4 cells, so it must be 4, 6, 7, and 8 in some order. 4, 6, and 8, because we've already got a 7. That one can't be a 4, because there's a 4 in the row. In fact, it can't be an 8. It can't be a 6 either. And that one can't be a 6, because there's a 6 in the box. So that has in fact sorted that right out. And in terms of these cells, we are missing not a 5, sorry. We are missing a 3 and a 2. Which I cannot, as of yet, disambiguate. But what does this leave us? This leaves us a 4 and a 6. And that's a 6 there. So there you go. So there's your 6 and 4. Sorted out. There must be a 4 here because of these two seeing this box. And this clue here, 2 cells adding to 15 can only be a 7 and an 8 if you're not allowed to use a 9, which you're not. So that order there is given because of the 7 in that box, and that's the last sandwich clue. So there you go. So now we've basically got a regular Sudoku on our hands. So let me see. Obviously ones are done. I did 1s and 9s first. 2s are limited to this box. 2 cells in that box. In fact 2 is given in this box because we're almost done. In fact, that is a 5 to complete the box. And then if I look at this cell, we have 8 and 6, which leaves us with a 5 to complete that box. We've got a 5 in one of these two. In fact, no, I can do better than that. We've got a 5-3 pair. Yes, and there's a 3 down in the bottom, so that's good. That sorts that out. There's a 5 down here. What do we need for this box? We need a 2 and a 7, neither of which I have to hand, so we'll just note that they are a 2-7 pair. This must be 2 or 8. These are 5, 8 or 2. What are we missing? What is obvious? What about 6s? 6s are limited to 2 places in that box. 5s are limited to 2 places in that box. Limited to 2 places in that box. What about 7s? Have I looked at 7s? 7s are over there. They're also here. There's lots of pencil marking I can do. Not a lot of actual clearing up of digits as of yet. 3s are in here, which means they must also be in here. 8s. 8s are in one of 2 places in that box. Wow, yeah, it looks like I feel like I should basically be done, but I'm just sort of a little bit stuck. I think I must be missing something reasonably obvious. It's always frustrating when you know you're close. It's like, oh, what am I missing? In this box, 4s are here. Does that help? I feel like that might help actually. So now I know that 4s are limited to these 2 places. In this box, 4s are limited to these 2 places. Okay, here we go, finally. Right, so 4s in this box are limited to these 2. And what that means is this acts as a virtual 4 in this row, basically removing that as an option, because we know a 4 must go here, so it can't possibly go there. So that sorts out that 4. Wait, sorry, there was a... no. I thought I had another digit in there, I did not. Intriguing. I was blind. So these 2 cannot possibly both be a 3 because there's a 3 in the row, and that was a given 3, right? That's been there the whole time, so I have no excuses for that. What else? What about 2s again? 2s are limited in this box. That's why I thought of them in the first place. No. It's not helpful. What is this? This is a 2 or an 8 to complete the row. What am I seeing from here? 5, 8s and 7s. That can be a 5 or an 8. These can be 5, 7 or 8. Yes. What is the obvious thing that I'm missing? I have used all the clues, haven't I? It's interesting. I mean, look at this. It feels like you're there, but somehow we are not. I mean, we might be. I might just be missing something very obvious. I've seen something. It's not that obvious, but I have seen something. In this column... well, no, actually, let's ask a different question. Where does the 5 go in this row? So, it can't go here. So I've got 3 spaces available for a 5. So it can't go here or here, because there's 5 seeing it. So it must go here. It's not that helpful, though. Still quite a lot of freedoms, aren't there? What are we missing here? 3 5s and 6s. It can't be a 3, so that's a 5 or a 6. That's a 3. Ah, there you go. That's only a 3. That is what they call a naked single. So this cell sees 1, 2, not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So even though it doesn't look like it, the only thing it can be is a 3. I'm hoping that basically breaks the back of this puzzle now. So there's a 2, there's a 2. Puts 2s over there. Does it do anything else? I mean, 3s are done, which is nice. 2s are sort of in a bit of an end state pattern, but I can't really do anything with it. What about 4s? No, nothing interesting on 4s. 5s, there's a lot of freedom there. And 6s are limited to 2 cells in that box. And to 2 cells in this box, but again, does that... Ah, no! No, 6 in this box, right. So that obviously can't be a 6 because of the 6 in the column. Okay, so... That's a 6, that's a 4. This actually will break the puzzle open. That's a 6, that's a 5, that's an 8. That's an 8, that's a 6. Gosh, I don't know how I missed... I don't know what I missed that made me struggle with the end here. That's a 4, that's a 7. Must have missed something obvious though. But anyway, we're there now. 4, 7, 7, 8. 2 and 8 here, so there's a... Sorry, that's a 2. That's a 2. That's an 8. That's a 2. That's a 7. That's an 8. That's a 7. And then finally, in the top corner, we've got an 8. Woo! Yeah, got tricky at the end. The start was fine. The mid game was nice. Was very good. We found all the 1s and 9s quite quickly, but yeah, I just struggled to close it out. I don't know if that was just me being a bit slow, missing something obvious. But anyway, in any case, I enjoyed the puzzle. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.